In our inaugural edition of analySIS, we have Matt Weaver on the show. In his new role as Moodle advisor at SIS, we discover his views on learning platforms, technology initiatives, and the future of technological education. All this on analySIS with me, Paul Lau, here on SIS TV. Mr. Weaver, you're the spokesperson for Moodle at SIS.
Yes.
What exactly is Moodle, and what is your role in that?
Moodle is a VLE, which is a virtual learning environment. It's based on a computer, could be a PC or a Mac. It is fed to the computer via the internet, and it allows a number of things. It allows teachers to push information, students to share information, and students and teachers to collaborate with each other.
I mean, I understand that Moodle was available 3 years ago when the CLC was introduced. So why has it taken this long?
I don't think we as a school were ready for Moodle 3 years ago. I know KG5 used it, but they had a very elite team, if you will, of programmers that were prepared to put in the time and effort into making Moodle work for their particular school. We weren't at that stage. If you remember 3 years ago, we were still umming and ahhing, do we go one-to-one? You know, what do we do? Are we going to go technology? Are we going to have a new coffee shop? And lots of other things we were interested in. So I don't think Moodle was for us. Now I think it is.
So do you think in essence that the ESF has wasted the millions of dollars it put into the CLC in these past few years?
Are we talking about the ESF or SIS?
ESF, in essence, which funded the CLC to a large
I
extent.
could not comment on ESF. They spend their money in whatever way they see fit at the time.
So with the introduction of Moodle, has that been tried or tested by students currently?
No, and I think that's something that we need to do. I think before ESF say this is Moodle, this is what you're going to have, we need to have a student work party or a student work group just to assess it and see, does it work? How do we use it? When do we use it and when not to use it? And is there anything else that we need as teachers to be aware of so that we can use Moodle more effectively?
So what is the timetable for introducing Moodle right now?
Okay, well, it's based on the current CLC at the moment. We've been very fortunate in the school that we didn't really use it that much. The CLC will stop, I believe, on the 24th of April next year, 2010, at which point they will pull the plug. So any school with access to the CLC will lose it. Therefore, Moodle, or the new VLE, must be rolled out before then.
And yet Moodle is already 2 months behind schedule, according to sources.
I don't know what sources that is. We started planning Moodle at the beginning of the summer. I had my first meeting at the end of the summer. Our Moodle platform is already in place. We have fantastic design, designed by myself. It works. We haven't had any problems. We've stress tested it. As a school, we're well ahead of the game. ESF, again, I can't speak for them.
In general, what do you think have been the benefits of using technology in the classroom for students and teachers?
Well, where did that come from?
It's a general,
Okay. In general, what are the benefits?
since the kind of introduction of one-to-one laptop program and the use of interactive whiteboards.
That's very difficult because I've always used technology. As in design technology, we were blessed to have our own HP computers, so that if we needed a computer system for each child, we had one-to-one. They just didn't take it home. What are the benefits now? I try and use computers as much less than I used to. I think that with the one-to-one scheme, students can now do work at home and use the workshops for practical reasons, which is what they're there for. You can't make anything at home with the tools that we have at school. It's too dangerous.
With regards to the laptop program, we've got one question we'd like you to take a look at.
How have laptops actually improved SIS's carbon footprint when we're still printing out our coursework drafts, coursework finals, and we're charging almost all the time, and that's peaking up our electricity bills, and I think it's actually made it 10% worse.
Yeah, I would actually say that was more than 10% worse. I completely agree. To be honest, when I thought that we were going to be a one-to-one laptop school, all you would do would be to bring your lunch, your PE kit, and a Mac or PC. I make it very a firm rule not to print out any work from my class. Everyone hands it in the PDF format and they put it into the Dropbox. I'll mark it using comments and it will be on the Dropbox for them to take back. We don't print. The only time I'll ever print is for GCSE submission at the end of the year, and or to show parents if they'd rather have it as a physical form. Books should be electronic books. I know that some people don't like to read off the screen. Well, I don't like reading, but I do it. So there you go, you can learn.
So what do you think has prevented the school from adopting that ideal it was espousing at the start of the laptop program?
I think it's just time. I think time will heal it. When you've got a very quick movement, as we have at the moment, and it'll get quicker, faster and faster with technologies, some people don't want to let go. Some people don't want to put their Sherlock Holmes collection on PDF. They want it on their shelves.
But do you think then that transition has been rather too quick? I mean, we've come in and we've had octopuses and CLC, which then failed, and then Gateway, and now the new VLE.
Right, you can't, right, okay. The octopus works because we make it work. We also make it so that you don't have a choice. You go to the canteen and you buy the prices, sorry, I didn't mean to mention prices, they're very fair, but you spend your money using your octopus card. They don't give the opportunity to use cash. If they do, you have to wait in a long, long line, and they just end up telling you off. The CLC, if we're going to go back to it, didn't work, not because it was old and clunky, because once it used to be new and smooth, just because I don't think it was implemented properly. The laptop scheme, I think we've done very, very well. We haven't given anyone the choice. We've said, this is the way we're going Mac, there you go, make it work. And we do, because we have to survive.
While we're discussing the laptop program, we have a student that wants to ask you a question about the introduction of that initially.
Okay, why was the laptop system introduced when lots of parents were actually opposed to it in the first place?
Right, well, you've got to think why they're opposed to it. Are they opposed to it because they don't believe in technology, or are they opposed to it because they don't want to spend a huge amount of money buying a new laptop?
But either way, don't you think the school being composed of three parties, really, the staff, the teachers, and the students, why were the parents' views overruled in such a major way?
Well, I could answer it honestly from a teacher's standpoint, and that is, if you go to a doctor and the doctor says you need this injection, do you listen to the doctor or your parents?
You're watching SIS TV, with more after the break on analySIS.